Welcome to Smurfy's World. I am your beautiful, ever smiling host, Lady Ola. Smurfy's World is where we get to talk about real life issues. We talk about faith here, our family, women, healing, becoming and evolving. I share priceless lessons from my own well of experiences, and I'm sure you will definitely have one or two to take back home and put to use. If you've been following me thus far, I thank you for sticking around. And if you are new here, you are highly welcome to my world. I am so pumped up because in the next 2 to 3 weeks, we will be talking about abuse in relationships. Many years ago, I was in an abusive marriage. It was just 2 weeks from dating this guy, and he had already pushed me to the wall, grabbed my neck, and he kept doing all sorts of things to me. Anyone would think that it was the best time to end the relationship, right? No, I didn't. I was too foolish. I was desperate. And I suffered just because I was in need of what was in his hands. When we talk about abuse in relationships, what exactly are we talking about? How do we define in the scope of a relationship? Before we get into its definition, let me quickly establish this. Relationship abuse and sexual assault are gender issues, and it is impossible to get to the root cause of this menace without maintaining a gendered analysis. Majority of relationship abuse is committed by men against women. I lived in a country where women were treated like slaves by their spouses for many years. I also have friends and sisters all over the world who have shared their experiences. And so, coupled with research, I know what I'm talking about. 95% of abusers and 99% of perpetrators, I'm talking about those who choose to do harm, are men. Having said that, this does not undermine the suffering of men who are victims of abuse. Whether you believe it or not, there are men who have been abused, and I know a few. Relationship abuse highlights the fact that it is important for us as a society to understand that this evil needs to be stopped, and then provide support and resources needed by survivors, irrespective of gender. Having established the above, what is relationship abuse? It is a term that describes when one person exerts power and control over the other in a relationship in a negative way. The abuse is mostly physical, but it can also be emotional. It can be verbal. It can be financial, and any other way that keeps one person under the control of another. You know, talking about this now actually brings back memories of what I went through. While there are many common aspects of abusive relationships, the irony of an abusive relationship is that oftentimes it is difficult for people in abusive relationships to realize that they are in one. The abusers also insist that what they do is normal and not harmful. And that kind of makes it hard for the victimized persons to understand the situation they are in. Listen, darling, there's nothing like I am immune to abuse or becoming an abuser. It's a kind of behavior that is without prejudice. It can be found among blacks. It can be found among whites, Asians, Hispanic, name it. There's also no age limit, gender, religion, and status that excuses anybody in it. Relationship abuse is never your fault, darling, and will never be. You must never blame yourself for it, as your abuser is totally at fault. They always want to make you look and feel like you are at fault. They make you feel you are the cause of their inhuman actions. Please don't fall for that. I've been there, and I can tell you that it was horrible. For many years, I made excuses for the one who abused me. I saw myself as good for nothing because I wake up and go to bed hearing that's what I am every single day in that marriage. So, darling, don't let nobody talk you down and reduce you to nothing. You are valuable. If you are in an abusive relationship right now, feeling isolated, embarrassed, depressed, anxious, maybe sometimes suicidal thoughts, or you've gotten hooked on things like food, hard drugs, and other things that you think will keep you or keep your mind away from reality, I need you to get help. Please get help. Talk to a counselor. Talk to a therapist. Thank God for the level of information we now have on the internet. We have online helplines that they are ready to help individuals that are dealing with abuse. You are so important to you. Don't forget that. You owe yourself to make sure you are treated the way you want to be treated. If you allow people to treat you the way you don't want to be treated, you have given them power to control your life. Please rise up and fight for you. There are some key signs of an abusive relationship, and I penned some down in order to enlighten anyone watching. Number 1, controlling and possessive behavior. When your partner checks on you all the time, they want to know where you are, what you're doing, and who you are with. They try to control where you go and who you see. They also get angry when you don't do what they say or want part time. There are 90% chances that you are in an abusive relationship. Number 2, being unreasonably jealous. Woo! When your partner constantly accuses you of being unfaithful or flirty, they try to isolate you from friends and family, often by behaving rudely to them. You are definitely walking down the aisle of abuse. Number 3, put downs. They put you down in private and in public by attacking your intelligence, your looks, mental health, or capabilities. When your partner is telling you that you are ugly, gosh, comparing you to his ex or friend. When your partner constantly blames you for the problems in your relationship and for their violent outbursts. When you hear them say things like, no one else wants you. When they tell you they are doing you a favor by being with you. Sweetheart, I'm sorry to tell you that you are in an abusive relationship and you need to run. Number 4, threats. When your partner threatens you with words like, if you leave me, I will kill you and kill myself. When you're being yelled at like a little child that doesn't know what he or she is doing. When they threaten to use violence against you, against your family or your friends. When they destroy your valuable things. There's abuse growing deep in that relationship. Number 5, physical and sexual violence. If you're pushed, you're grabbed, hit, or thrown to the wall. If you're forced or tricked into having sex or doing things you don't want to do. If they leave you with bruises, black eyes, sweetheart, you are in an abusive relationship and it's time to pack your bags. Please don't wait until an abuser puts you in the grave. It will be too late then. We lost a powerful singer in Nigeria a couple of years ago who was in an abusive relationship. He continued for a long time and she didn't tell anyone about it. She lived in a country where talking about being abused felt like shame and she couldn't get help until the man killed her. Whether you're a Christian, whether you're a Muslim, whether you're Buddhist or you don't even believe in anything. One thing you must learn to do is end a relationship where you are no longer valued as you should be. It is better to end the relationship than allowing someone to end your life. As for abusers, there are certain characteristics that they display. An abuser, most of the time, can be incredibly charming, especially if they're trying to make you or other people see them in good light. When you see my ex, you will never believe that he was a monster in designer clothes. The day my brother witnessed one time that he beat me like my tongue was literally cut into two and I was bleeding badly. My brother, who was in the neighborhood and decided to stop by and saw his baby sister and couldn't believe what he saw. Sometimes they act lovingly towards you, and sometimes they may feel sorry for their horrible behavior, making it hard for you to stay mad at them. Listen, don't be deceived. There's a high chance that their violent behavior will continue. Also, after a violent episode, they might try to downplay what happened with excuses, apologies, or promises to change. Please don't fall for it. As a matter of fact, it is very difficult to completely get rid of abuse in relationships unless God steps in. If not for God in my past abusive marriage, I do not think I will be here today talking to you about it. Seek God if you are a Christian, and seek professional help and support. So as I round this episode up, let me leave you with this. You are the custodian of your own life. Choose who and what you are allowed in your space. Can I say that again? You are the custodian of your own life. So choose who and what you are allowed in your space. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Please know that you're special to me. Kindly don't forget to like, comment, and share. I would love to hear from you. Let's reach as many people as possible that are in this situation. Follow me on Instagram at I am Smopey. Facebook, it's Mope Aigbogun. On TikTok, it's Lady Ola. On YouTube, at Smopey's World. On Spotify, at Smopey's World. See you in my next episode, where I will be talking about the different kind of relationship abuse. Until then, stay strong, stay loving, and stay joyful. I am Lady Ola. I'll see you soon.